Hey guys, Nick here from Lift, and we are presenting to you our eFoil board lineup. We've got some new and exciting shapes for you. 4 sizes in total to cover all the foilers out there, from large to small. We've got our 6.2 Explorer, our 5.6 Cruiser, our 5.0 Sport, and our 4.4 Pro. Essentially, what we have here are 2 categories for our boards. We've got our larger boards. These have more volume for more flotation and more surface area. So these are going to be naturally more stable. They're going to rotate a little bit slower. They're going to kind of be steady, cruisier. And if you're a larger individual, these are your boards because they're going to float you properly. Down here, we've got our more sporty boards between the 5.0 and the 4.4. Smaller sizes, easier to cart around, more maneuverable, and allow you to carve more aggressive turns. So depending on who you are and what type of riding you want to do, we have 4 boards across the lineup that will suit your style. We're going to walk through each individual board so you can understand the benefits of each and you can figure out which board works perfect for you. This here is the 6.2 Explorer. It's the largest board in our lineup. Essentially, I can get anybody up on this board and get them foiling in no time. It's really user-friendly, really stable. It's got about 120 liters of volume. And really, when you think about it, you know, it's as much board as you could possibly need on a hydrofoil, but it's still 6 feet, 2 inches, so it's quite compact. You can store it on your boat or put it in the back of your car, no problem. If you're learning on this foil board, this one's great. A lot of times, I like to start out people further in the front of the board so it stays down on the water and they can kind of learn how to surf it and get a feel for the hydrofoil underneath their feet. And then they can start to walk back and do their touch and goes, and they feel really confident because it just offers a lot of stability. If you're a more advanced foiler, this one's a lot of fun too because it offers a lot of utility. I like to take my nephew with me hydrofoiling on this, or maybe I'll load up some snorkeling equipment on the board and kind of do a mission to go explore a new area. It's fun to get creative and come up with ideas on why you want to go out in eFoil, and this board offers a lot of utility in that sense. So this right here is our 5.6 Cruiser. It is probably the most popular board in our lineup. It offers plenty of volume to float all individuals. It has plenty of stability if you're new to foiling, which most people are. It's very easy to learn on, very versatile, and it's got a great stable feeling when you're up in the air. I call this board the Cruiser because it's pretty much for that. You're going to go out and you're going to cruise. It's maybe not as maneuverable as our smaller boards, but it really offers a nice glide to lock into the swells and just go out and cruise the coast and enjoy. And at 5.5 feet, it's very compact. It's easy to break down, easy to store away. So one of our standards in the lineup and an excellent choice for owning an eFoil. Right here, we've got our 5.0 Sport, and this is a great board, and I'm going to tell you why. We're starting to move down into the smaller boards. Anybody who's been foiling for a while is going to appreciate that shorter board because when you're up in the air, it becomes more maneuverable. You have less swing weight. So at 5 feet, this board is quite compact in its length, but it does have a fair amount of volume, so it will float individuals even up to 220 pounds. Really, it's about technique on this board, and when you're up flying in the air, this thing is sleek and it feels great. Not to mention that being smaller, it's a little bit lighter weight, and it's easier to cart around and move around. Now, some people get intimidated by the name that it's a sport, or they feel like, hey, I'm new to foiling, so I should probably move to the bigger boards. But everybody's new to foiling. We're all new to foiling. It's a new sport. I always encourage people that if you're making an investment in an eFoil board, you're probably going to go out and practice quite a bit, and it's not going to take you long to dominate this board. And later on, you will appreciate owning it and having that maneuverability up in the air. This board, as it gets out on the market, will become the best seller because of its sleek design. People are going to recognize that it's easy to dominate, and they will love the way that this board rides and feels. So this little guy right here is our 4.4 Pro. I love this board. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this one's not for everybody, but if you're a pretty sporty individual, you have good balance, and you're investing into an eFoil, I think you would appreciate this board because when you're up flying on this one, it is the ultimate hoverboard. You're free to make really aggressive turns and carves, and it just feels like it's all foil under your feet. Essentially, the shorter length gives you less swing weight on the nose, and that's what makes it so loose and lively. It is a little bit more challenging to get started and get going. You have to be more conscious of the way that you trim the nose of the board to flatten it out and get planing. But it really doesn't take long to practice on this and master it, and it becomes your favorite board in the quiver. Now, of course, if you're not ready for this board, just remember that you can work your way up to it. You're going to start with a larger board, you're going to become acquainted with hydrofoiling, and you're going to move your way down into this sporty board eventually. Another great thing about this board is its compact size. Being a smaller board, it's lighter weight, and it's also easier to kind of carry around, maneuver, whether I'm getting in and out of the water or I'm throwing it in the back of the truck. Being 4'4" just makes that much easier, and you feel that also on the water. It is the ultimate ride in foiling right now. One of my favorites.